Talking about mob movies. That's what I'm talking about, like The Sopranos. I love The Sopranos. I with Paulie. But I gotta ask you, how'd you get hooked up with mob wives?
Okay, so after my son's father, I started dating somebody that I used to talk to years prior.
Okay.
He actually was in jail for 4 years, but he like kept in touch with me. And then when he got out, I guess he was still trying to pursue me. And then he just right place, right timing. And my son's father wasn't that easy to deal with, so he kept pushing me into a corner in search for like I guess safety in some sense.
Okay.
So like when I every man I date is very aggressive and intense and tough, and like of course I liked the man that I was with at that moment, but I also felt safe because he was like protecting me from him. So with that said, I was with him. I got very close with his cousin's wife. We hung out all the time, and she was very close with, she grew up with the girls on the show, with the girl who created the show. And we were going for a walk one day, and she was just like, what show you would be great on? And I was like, what, Mob Wives? And she's like, yep. And as she's saying it, she's messaging the creator, like, I got someone perfect for you. And then right
Who's
away,
this, Karen?
no. The creator's actually Jen,
Okay.
Renee's sister.
Gotcha.
And Jen was like, who, Marissa? So she was like, yeah. So she's like, all right, let's set up a meeting and we'll go from there. So we set up a meeting. I want to say like a few days later, if that, they were like, okay, you're going to start filming next week. I guess they were trying to try me out. My first scene was with Karen and Renee. And I just hit it off and just, I'm very comfortable in my surroundings.
So you actually didn't know them then?
No, not at all.
Not
But
at
I'm
all.
also
Okay.
not a timid girl. So when I sat down, the way I'm talking to you guys is the same way I was speaking to them. And I think they were just like, all right, we're filming in the oh my God, where am I blanking? Where does everyone go? Oh, in the Hamptons.
Okay.
We're filming in the Hamptons next week. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I went, and next thing you know, I just started filming the show.
So at that point, though, you're doing modeling already, right?
Yes, I was already modeling.
So did you already have an agent and a lawyer? Like when that call gets made,
Yeah,
you have to go run and get a
I
lawyer
had
to
an
negotiate
entertainment
for you?
lawyer already on hand.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good.
So even though you already know, like when you do these shows, the stipulations, the things you can't do, blah blah blah. But like, the show didn't make me. I've already been dabbling in this industry.
Yeah, right.
So there was we went back and forth for a long time with that paperwork, because it was like, you're not going to stop me from doing this or modeling that or making money here, because I've already been making that money. So there were times even during filming that there was one week actually where I didn't film with them because I was working and doing other things. For the most part, most girls wouldn't have been able to do that.
What was your gut read when you're taking that walk and she goes, you know what show you would be good on? Like, did you get a little butterfly or something to like indicate, I think something might have changed for me just now?
No, because I just kind of knew like it was meant.
Right.
And it just happened. Totally a believer in destiny. So like, I don't know. I always said it, even though not saying I wasn't a fan of the show. I just never watched the show. I really wasn't much into reality because I'm super busy. I'm always out doing something. I'm always on some casting or making money. And I was never really glued into reality when reality was really huge. But I always said in the back of my mind, I was like, I would be perfect on that show. So me. And it happened. So.
And there it is.
It was a perfect match.
He gives me these questions, and it's just so embarrassing. Okay, clearly you are a beautiful, intelligent woman. That's what it says for me to say right here, even though it's the truth, but still feels weird. What does Marissa Jade look for in a man?
Authenticity, strength, loyalty, passion, and consistency.
Wow. Well, that
But
eliminates me.
they don't have.
Just kidding.
How about looks wise? What do they have to look like? Looks.
I guess looks. It's not that you have. It's what you're attracted to. I can't say maybe maybe I do have a type, but sometimes my type is not always the same, but they have the same strength. That's where I go with strength and consistency. If you're comfortable in your skin, if you have this pizzazz and charisma, if you have this confidence about you,
Right.
like a very alpha male.
How about physical
attracted
attraction?
to.
Though? Like, is physical attraction the first thing that you look for? Is it when you
Yeah,
look at personality?
naturally you're going to gravitate towards what you're attracted to.
Right.
But I've been attracted to green eyes. I've been attracted to blue eyes. I've been attracted to brown eyes.
Right.
I've been attracted to 6-foot, exotic looking men. I've been attracted to 5'10" bodybuilder, Hulk looking men.
Right.
At the end of the day, though, what they all have in common is strength and this alpha way about them.
But you're an alpha.
I'm very much an alpha, but I want my man to be more.
So you want an alpha man then.
Of
You
course.
wouldn't want
Listen,
a
at the
guy
end
that
of the day, and
Yeah.
I will say this as a strong, independent woman, a woman should be able to look up to a man, be comfortable with her man, be able to be protected by her man. And women should let men be men. Okay?
Wow.
And I'm
gonna
sorry,
faint.
like I want
You're right.
it's true. Like, why are we trying to take their roles? We don't need to take their roles. We have roles, and
So
men have roles.
How does that?
I grew up in a household where my father told my mother, "You don't work. I take care of you."
Right.
And I believe like men should open doors. Men should pay bills. Not saying, listen, I'll pick up a tab, I'll pick up a tab for your birthday, or I'll buy us a flight and take you on a vacation, or I'm amazing with gifts, But other than that, a man's supposed to play a man and a woman's supposed to play a woman. I don't think it's wrong if a woman took care of her man, or cooked for her man, or did his laundry, or gave him like a back rub if he asked. But I also believe a man should take care of a woman in some sense too.
So let me ask you this then, right? You're an actor. We all know about Harvey Weinstein, right? I'm trying to say this correctly.
Oh, just
but
say it. She can handle
Say
it.
it correctly, because I'm pretty sure my answer is not going to be loved by everybody.
So
proceed.
here's a guy who took his position of power, who wanted to be with beautiful women, and he didn't rape them. Let's make that
I
clear.
agree with it.
All right.
I agree with
And
that.
he basically said, "Hey, you want to make it? You got to make it." That's like an alpha male.
Listen,
What are your thoughts on that?
Harvey is an alpha male, and I'm going to say something that most people might not like, but I don't give a shit.
Good.
Because at the end, and I've been propositioned, we've all been propositioned.
I'm sure you've been
in some
propositioned a
sense.
million times.
Listen, I'm pretty sure men maybe do more with women but don't act like women are innocent, because there are women who take their
Yes.
power and
Absolutely.
do the same.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
with
yeah.
that said,
Yeah.
if someone really was hurt in a situation, I feel for them. I have compassion for the situation, but you should have said something. I don't believe half the stories that I've heard. These women were in such die-hard positions that they couldn't fend for themselves or speak up about it or get some listen, all you had to do was say no. But what you chose to do was take the bait so you can get further.
Right.
So if you did that
Right.
knowing that you were gaining
Right.
something, you weren't being abused. You were okay with the situation. So don't come out 20 years later for your 15 seconds trying to act like what happened to you was detrimental, because you put yourself in that position. Now, if you were held down, like I've had people try to really aggressively take me.
Yes.
And in that instance, I fought back.
Right.
And I'm
Which
fine.
is-
And I never cried about it. I
Right.
never called the cops on it. I never went to,
Well, you're a strong woman, right? Look, me personally, I would say that a man should never physically try to
100%.
make away with
And
any
even then,
woman
that
or
didn't-
another, right? But to proposition a woman, and I'm not defending Harvey Weinstein, right? Because he kind of did.
Yes, I'm
use
not
his-
either.
Right.
Listen, at the end
he
of the
did
day,
use his power to say, "Hey,
he
you're either
abused the
gonna do
privilege.
it with me or you're going nowhere,"
he
and that's
abused the
kind of.
privilege. But
fucked
these
up.
women could have had some morale and said, you know what? I'm not going to take the bait.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk away.
Right.
I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil.
Right.
So you chose what you chose to do. Don't cry about it like you didn't have a choice.
So going to your second half, like the second half men you've had, and like something like that would happen to you, did you dare ever tell them?
In certain instances, I was single at those times.
Okay. Which is probably better, right?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I've reached out to like a couple of my guy friends, like,
Yeah.
yo, like, what do you want to do? You going to go beat him the fuck up, you know?
Right.
But other than that, I mean, yeah.
So back to Mob Wise, Big Ange, you didn't know her. right? But you eventually got to know her.
Yeah,
I'm
I got
assuming.
to know her well in the show.
How did you handle her passing?
Her? Listen, anybody passing, especially in that way, is unfortunate. I felt horrible. In fact, I remember, she went into remission. Everything was fine. And she was great. And then all of a sudden, it came back with a vengeance. And I remember texting her, like, you know what? Like, anything you need, I'm here for you. And she was like, thank you, love you, miss you, whatever. And then next thing you know, it happened. It was just horrible. Anybody going through that, it's horrible. I don't like death, but I understand it.
Did she go fast, or was it?
I think she did. Yeah. When it came back, it was fast.
Did you go to her funeral?
Yes, I did. I did. It is. It's sad.
Wow.
God bless her.